Hey gang, Jeff Stone here with day 37 of the year 2015 at magicreview.com. We're on the tail end of Wallet Week-ish, 2 weeks almost now. We're looking at the Undercover wallet by Andy Nicholls, put out by Titanus Magic, performed by Peter Egging, and produced by Tony Curtis. Got all that? And by produced, I mean the wallet was produced or created by, manufactured by. As is typical with these wallets, the claim is you can use this as your everyday wallet. So let's talk about that first, before I even tell you what the wallet does. Here is my wallet you guys should all be familiar with now. It's my $10 Walmart wallet. Here's a deck of cards that shows you roughly how big my wallet is. Here is this wallet to show you how big. Let me turn it around this way. And there you go. Okay, so there is your size comparison. So that you can see this wallet, I mean, it's still, you know, not unlike a man's wallet that a man might put in his back pocket. But it's certainly bigger than my wallet and the wallet size I prefer. But that is irrelevant. You just now know the size and that's it. So, so the next question is, what does this wallet do? Well, one more thing about your everyday use business. It's got 6 credit card slots here, okay? So I just put stuff that's in my regular wallet right here. My ESP cards, Wave, I would put my driver's license there, 3 credit cards here, and that's it. And then you got, of course, the pocket for money right here. But that's all you got. Now, in my wallet, underneath the credit card slots here, you've got you can still put stuff in here and underneath here. You cannot do that with this wallet. These are sewn up. So there's nothing can go under there. So you really don't have much room other than those 6 slots. There is this pocket on the back here, which can put, you could put whatever in there, coins or whatever you want in there. It doesn't snap shut or anything, so you have to be careful what's in there. Funny thing, well, I'll get to that in a minute, but it's the way Peter Egging was describing the wallet. I'll just get to it now. He was walking through the features of the wallet, and he said, okay, yeah, on the outside you have a pocket where you could put loose money, which I'm assuming he meant change. And then he said also on the inside there's a zipper compartment where you could put more loose money. Well, that zipper compartment is the same thing as this. They're connected. It's one pocket. It's part of how the loading mechanism works. And so he said that, and it made me wonder, does he really know what this wallet is? He claims that this is his actual everyday wallet. Later in the DVD, he says, let's discuss the sight unseen case feature, the SUC feature. It's Mark Striving's idea. The SUC. He says, let's discuss that. And then he goes into explaining the Mullica features. I don't know if you can call it Mullica features, but the load features that are very Mullica wallet-like, which is not at all the SUC thing. The SUC is a different concept. So again, makes me wonder, does he really know what he's talking about with this wallet? That happened a couple of times on the video. I detailed that out in the written review. So it just makes me question his claim that this is his everyday wallet and that he uses it all the time. So that aside, what can it do? Well, like a Mullica wallet, you can do a no palm load. I'll tell you about that in a minute. I am parched. Okay, so like a Mullica wallet, I've got one right here, the regular one. You know, the way it works, you got the deck here, card selected, sign, and lost in the deck, right? And then you're holding the deck. Now, this is really going to be awkward since the camera angle is the way it is. But normally it would be much more natural down at your sort of waist level or whatever. But you'd have the deck in your dealer grip, and then you just open the wallet right on top of the deck. It's a very natural action just to flip the wallet open like that. It's very natural. Okay? And it makes perfect sense. And then you do the work necessary to load the wallet with the card. Okay, that's a regular Mullica wallet. Well, this one, and by the way, they never called this a Mullica wallet. it works very much like one. So now this is your regular your underground wallet. It's natural to flip it open like that, of course, but that doesn't work. Doing it this way on top of the deck does not allow you to do the Mullica style load. So you have to actually load it this way, where you flip the wallet open backwards towards you onto the deck. Okay, so it's a little bit weird to do that. It feels unnatural to even open a wallet that way. Secondly, you have to get your thumb in there in just the right place, and there's other stuff that your finger bumps into, and then you flip it open. If you're not careful, you end up pinching the other stuff, and you try to flip it, and you're pinning it down inadvertently. It's just a very awkward way to open a wallet. It would be more natural to flip it open this way, but it just still doesn't quite work with the way that you have to load it. It's just either way you do it, it's just awkward. Problem is, doing it this way, the load is a little bit more difficult. Doing it this way, the load is easier, but it's way less natural. So that's one issue. One thing, I don't know if this is an advantage or a disadvantage. You have two places where you can make the card appear if you're doing the no palm load. One is inside this zipper compartment right here. Okay, the signed card can appear inside that zipper compartment. Or there's also an inner wallet, just like in a Mullica, where you can have it appear inside of this inner wallet. Okay, now, here's the thing. With this, the awkwardness here of flipping this open and then getting the card in place to do the load, awkward. But once you have the card in place to do the load and you've put the deck down, the actual load itself, super easy. Very, very easy. And they didn't teach this on the DVD, but I came up with a little simple thing that you can do that you'll probably figure out when you play around with the wallet that just gets it right in there without, no fumbling. It's very, very clever. Very, very easy, I should say. And I don't know, it's clever. I'm a clever guy, right? So just to be clear, if you're going to have it appear in the zipper compartment, getting the card in place off of the deck is very awkward. But once it's off the deck and in place, getting it completely in place, very easy, very simple. Now, let's go the other way. What if you want it to appear inside the inner wallet? Well, getting the card in place that way, the first step is actually very easy. Okay, getting the card out of the deck is easy. But getting it in place into this wallet is more tricky. They do have a little bit of a tip that they explain in the included PDF that's on the DVD. I just printed it out here, but this is included with the DVD. They do have a little tip on how to deal with that actually does help a little bit, but it was still a little bit tricky and a little bit awkward. So there's a trade-off. If you want it to appear in the zipper compartment, you're going to have a harder time unloading it from the deck, but an easy time loading it into the compartment. If you want to load it into the inner wallet, you're going to have an easy time getting it off the deck, but a harder time getting it into the compartment. So there are trade-offs. One nice thing, though, this little wallet that's the inner wallet, you could just put this in your regular everyday wallet, and then your wallet essentially becomes like a Mullica wallet, as far as the loading and stuff goes. Now, this won't fit in my wallet because I have a small wallet, but if you have a wallet that's roughly the size of this underground wallet, then this will fit inside of it. So that's an advantage, I think. If you want to just continue using your wallet, just add this to it. This can also be used as a peak device, and so the way that would work, the spectator would draw a picture, and you would have to put it. Now you would be doing it flat to where you couldn't be seeing the back, but right now I'm doing it up here for the camera. But you just slip it inside of the case, close the case up, and I'm staring right at the information, and then I would just put the wallet back inside of the outer wallet, and I would have the information. So that's one way to do it. Another way is you could put the business card inside this zipper compartment down here, and then as you close up the wallet, I'd be peeking the information here. So the advantages and disadvantages there are, if I use the inner wallet as the peak device, once I've placed that inner wallet inside the outer wallet, I can show the wallet both sides, and there's no way that any information can be seen, and so you have a cleaner peek. If I use the outer wallet as a peek device, I can't show both sides of the wallet. I have to just put the wallet away. So it can be used as a peek device. It can be used, excuse me, time for more agua. It can be used as a peek device. It can be used as a card to wallet thing. It can be used any way that a Mark Striving's SUC concept can be used. So the real question is it worth $85 for it to have those features? And is the wallet? I mean, the wallet's good. It's a good quality wallet. It is a little. It's going to take some breaking in, before it's easier to play with. Obviously, it's pretty new and stiff. But for me, if I'm going to do a Mullica style, I'm going to use a Mullica. That's a Mullica style low because it is a little bit awkward with this. So that's how I feel about it. The next question, though, is how about the instructions? The instructions were terrible. I mean, Peter Egging just basically, it was more like exposure than it was teaching. And I don't mean that exposure in a bad way, like, oh, he's exposing magic. I just meant that, that he just kind of, it'd almost be like, well, that's such and such illusion. Yeah, there's just a big mirror in there, and that's how it works. Well, that doesn't really tell me how to do the effect, though. It was that kind of thing where he's like, well, yeah, you just load the card here, or you just pull the card off the deck and you do this. And he didn't perform anything. He just walked through everything, not even showing you what it would look like in real time at all. And on the one that he did try to show you what it would look like in real time, it was so exposed that I don't know, it would never fool anybody what he was doing. It was actually exposed. I mean, it was just totally exposed. And I don't think he even knew that, because afterward he had this sort of look on his face of like, look how good I am, and let me tell you how I did it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I think everybody knows how you did it. My wife, who's upstairs sleeping on the couch, knows how you did it, and she didn't even watch the video. So everybody knew. It was just very obvious. So the DVD is not very good at all. On top of that, there's this weird thing. There's this great effect in there, and this would be one reason, just this one effect, that I might use this wallet. Okay, this was the effect. You open it up, there's a red card in here, just sticking out, okay, in the slot. Close it up, put it back in the inner wallet, have a card signed and selected out of a blue deck. Then you open your wallet back up, pull this out, and you open it, and you can see the back of the red card. You turn the wallet over and pull that card out, and it's you show the face, and they're seeing the face now because, of course, the red back is here. So you're pulling that out, and now you see their signature on a card. You turn it over, there's nothing left in here, so the red card's gone. And then you turn this card over, and it's the blue back card that they signed from the blue back deck. It's a great effect, and it's a very clever method. Now, it uses the red card that's in here is I can tell you this. I don't think it ruins too much. It's a half card. It's part of the method. It's a very clever idea. And so I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I would do that. I think I could see myself doing that, and I like the idea. So then he goes into how do you reset that effect? And I don't know what happened. Like, he just suddenly jumped off onto another planet or something. But he said, okay, in order to reset it, you get the double backer that you were using, the red-blue double backer, and then you put it in the deck, and then you show their card on top of that, and then you do a double lift, and then you put the red-blue double backer back into the wallet. What? What are you talking about, Peter Egg Inc.? What blue-red double backer? I don't even know what you're talking about. There is no... They didn't even use it for the effect. It was the weirdest thing. I don't know what happened there. So, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you there. But the whole DVD was full of stuff like that. Just stuff where you're like, what is this guy talking about? So, the book, however, written by Andy Nicholls, is better. It does explain, things a little bit more in depth. Not overly amazing, but it's still got a little bit more detail. It has a couple effects in there. Also, one thing that's sort of good, I guess, the DVD, Peter Eggink is a lefty, and Andy Nicholls is a righty. So you get to see the handling from two different perspectives. So that's cool. And there's some advantages of each one, depending on which effect you're doing. So anyway, I have rambled on long enough. Bottom line, this is a good quality wallet. It's awkward for loading a card into it, but it's very good for peeking stuff. The instructions were terrible. Bottom line, 3-star stone status of gem. So it's time for you now to listen to the random iTunes song of the moment while you subscribe to my channel and like this video. And we are listening to Aerosmith. Cryin'. Sorry, I had to cut it off. I told you about that YouTube thing yesterday. Cryin' from Aerosmith. That's a good tune, man. That was sort of their comeback-ish album back in the mid-90s, I think. If you remember your music trivia, it was Run DMC that put Aerosmith back on the map. Aerosmith was a great band. They had a big following, but they kind of just, disappeared for a while. And then all of a sudden, Run DMC covered Walk This Way on one of their albums. I believe it was on the Raising Hell album. And they did a video of it. And in the video, Aerosmith was in the video. And it was this battle of Run DMC singing it and Aerosmith singing it in another room. And their walls were next to each other. And they could hear each other. They were sort of doing a sing-off, yelling at each other through the wall. Then they burst down the wall and they get together and they all sing it together, and they ended up happily ever after. Really, really cool version of the song. But from that, all of a sudden, Aerosmith is back in mainstream attention and got a whole new generation of fans. And then they started putting out some more albums, and that Cryin' was off of the one that came out just a few years after that. Anyway, enough rambling. Stay tuned. Don't stay tuned because that'd be a really long day. Tune in tomorrow, day 38. Where we're reviewing the next to the last wallet of Wallet Week, and it's the Dream Elite Prediction. I don't even know if this is a wallet effect, except for when I open this box, there's a wallet in there. So I threw it in the pile of wallets. So, day 38, tomorrow, Saturday, we're doing Dream Elite Prediction, and I might as well tease the final one, which will be on Sunday, which is Harry Robson's The Worker's Dream. And again, also when I look in here, there is a wallet. So, that's it for these two folks. Monday, we're out of the wallet business, and we're on to the Jay Sankey business. We're going to be doing camouflage. Enough said, guys. This video is way too long. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Peace out.